I've made this video 2 months ago explaining what happened to some characters in the series. I tried as much as possible to collect characters that you guys suggested to me in the part 1. So in today's video I'll be explaining what happened to these characters: Percy, Oliver, Karkaroff, George and Buckbeak. Let's start with Percy Weasley. For many years, Percy was seen as the rather pompous but ultimately harmless older brother of Ron, Fred and George. But as Voldemort started to take power, Percy ended up siding with his beloved ministry over his own family. Percy wasn't a bad person and didn't have any desire to join the dark side. He was just easily impressed by power and status. He came from a family who weren't particularly well off and had hand-me-downs throughout his life. During his years at Hogwarts, he was extremely proud of being a prefect and took the role very seriously, enjoying the level of power it gave him over other students, and was always trying to gain praise from his teachers. When he left Hogwarts and got a job at the Ministry of Magic, he openly hero-worshipped his boss, Barty Crouch, and was very keen to get promoted. He took his work seriously, hiding away in his room to finish tasks before the given deadline. It was Percy's promotion to junior assistant to the ministry that caused a real split between the Weasleys, as Arthur was convinced that he was given the position so the ministry could spy on the Weasleys. Percy took a huge offense at the suggestion that he was just being used, especially as he had put so much time and effort into getting promoted. He refused to believe his father and gave his loyalty to the ministry. This resulted in Percy severing all ties with his family, wanting everyone to know that he had nothing to do with them. He packed his bags and left. He moved to London when he was able to get himself a flat. His mother went to London to try to talk to him, but Percy slammed the door in her face. As when Voldemort's return was really revealed, he was ready to hold up his hand and admit to his mistake. He eventually felt that he was guilty of abandoning his family in favor of the ministry. As a result, Percy joined the Battle of Hogwarts in time of need. Once he found his family, Percy apologized to them. Fred, along with George, who were angry towards him, was the first to forgive him. During the battle, Percy and Fred fought alongside each other. Then an explosion destroyed parts of the corridor they were in and killed Fred. Percy, grave-stricken, refused to leave his brother's body until Harry and Ron helped him move it elsewhere. Full of anger and sadness, Percy stormed back into the battle, charging after Death Eaters. Percy was also present when Voldemort announced Harry's supposed death, looking shocked and saddened as he had once again came to consider Harry a friend. Percy then witnessed Harry's final defeat of Lord Voldemort. After the battle, Percy was one of the people who rushed to Harry's side and attempted to hug him. He later sat with his family in silence. The family, while rejoicing the end of the Second Wizarding War, was also devastated over the loss of Fred. Following the end of the war, Percy returned to now reform the Ministry of Magic and became head of the Department of Magical Transportation under Kingsley Shacklebolt. The relationship between him and his family is now as good as it used to be before. Everyone makes mistakes, especially when they're young, and Percy redeemed himself in the end. Percy eventually married a woman named Audrey, and the couple had 2 daughters, Molly and Lucy. On 1st September 2019, he was present on platform 9 3/4, seeing off one of his daughters to the school. Oliver Wood. Oliver attended Hogwarts in 1987. He joined the Gryffindor Quidditch team as a keeper and even became captain of the Gryffindor Quidditch team later. Oliver was known for his determination and skill on the playing field and his long lectures before practices. The absolute master of an inspirational speech he was. We've seen Oliver in the first movie where he gave Harry his first Quidditch lesson in private, immediately seeing that Harry was a natural flyer on a broomstick. Then the second movie and the third, but after that he disappeared completely. Because in Harry's 3rd year, it was actually the 7th for Oliver, which means his last year at Hogwarts. Oliver was also a firm upholder of the rules. He never allowed any form of cheating or foul play while he was a captain, like when Harry saw a group of Dementors and was tossed from his broom. Cedric Diggory caught the snitch, but then offered a rematch. Oliver, knowing Cedric won, legitimately declined. He was a rather noble move from a really upstanding guy. But after leaving the school, Oliver became the keeper for Paddlemere United reserve team, and I assume he brought the same level of intense ambition to his position there. In the summer of 1984, he attended the Quidditch World Cup, where he saw Harry and introduced him to his parents and told Harry of his new career. Oliver even showed his loyalty to Hogwarts after he left, when he showed up in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows to defend his old school. Oliver Wood was leading a group of students on broomsticks, guiding them into the battle. Oliver also assisted Neville in carrying the dead bodies of Colin Creevey and others into the Great Hall. Oliver survived the end of the battle as his name was not mentioned among the fallen 50. Afterwards, he likely continued with his career as a professional Quidditch player. George Weasley. We know that the day of the Battle of Hogwarts was the worst to George. He lost his brother Fred, his twin, and the person who was always on his side. They had plans together and more jokes and pranks to be made. After the Battle of Hogwarts, George never truly got over Fred's death. He eventually married Angelina Johnson, the girl that Fred asked to go with him to the Yellow Ball. George and Angelina eventually named their first child Fred, in love and memory of the twin brother he lost during the final battle. The couple also had a daughter named Roxanne. George continued to run Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, the joke shop that he started with Fred, to great success. His younger brother Ron retired from being an author in the ministry after 2 years and helped him to turn the shop into a real money spinner. Igor Karkaroff. Karkaroff was a student and also later the headmaster of Durmstrang Institute. During the First Wizarding War, he was the Death Eater who served Lord Voldemort, but after being captured and briefly imprisoned in Azkaban, Karkaroff turned in several of his fellow Death Eaters in exchange for his crimes being erased. The first time we saw Karkaroff was in the Goblet of Fire, when the Triwizard Tournament was held for the first time in many years at Hogwarts School. Karkaroff ventured to Hogwarts to supervise his students and to prepare Durmstrang's champion for the tournament, as well as to serve as one of the 5 judges. The Goblet of Fire was also the last time he was mentioned. After hearing that Voldemort was back following the end of the 3rd test, Karkaroff fled from Hogwarts for his life. Snape admitted that Karkaroff had come to him, concerned about the dark mark on his left arm, a mark Snape also bore as a former Death Eater. The mark had been growing darker throughout the school year, indicating Voldemort's growing strength. Karkaroff feared Voldemort's return because he had betrayed too many of the Dark Lord's servants to be allowed back into the fold. After escaping from banishment, Karkaroff was able to stay alive for a whole year, fleeing to parts unknown. However, Karkaroff was finally tracked down to a shack in the north and killed by Death Eaters. Buckbeak. We all keep wondering what happened to Buckbeak after Sirius' death. Well, months after his death, Dumbledore told Harry that according to Sirius' will, he was now the legal owner of Buckbeak, as Sirius left everything he owned to Harry. But Harry told Dumbledore that Buckbeak could continue living with Rubeus Hagrid. In order to protect the Hippogriff identity, Buckbeak was renamed Witherwings at this time. In 1997, Buckbeak joined Harry's duel with Snape across the grounds, attacking Snape and driving him off, thus protecting Harry and showing his loyalty to him. During the Battle of Hogwarts, Buckbeak along with several Destrals were seen attacking Lord Voldemort's giant soldiers. He participated in the battle and survived. After the war, Buckbeak continued living in Hagrid's hat, and he sometimes sneaked into the Forbidden Forest with other hippogriffs. It also revealed that the death sentence on him was overturned as part of the wider reforms within the Ministry of Magic.